Hey guys, I'm here at DEMA 2023 with Brian from RescueX, and he's going to introduce us to some of his new products. I think it's kind of cool. All right, brother, what do you got?
Cool. Well, this is called the Rapid Extrication Board.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is that I actually created a training program before I created the board.
Okay.
My professions in life were I was a lifeguard, then I was a dive safety officer, and now I'm a full-time firefighter paramedic. So my interest in saving a life, you can tell it's always been there. So the logistics of training people in an aquarium environment is very challenging. And when I became a firefighter, I realized aquariums are technical rescues, but yet there's this lay rescuer element in there that don't really understand that we're dealing with technical rescues. So what do you do with lay rescuers in an environment where they have much more challenging extrications? How do you train them? Well, I created that training program, and it just compartmentalizes what's everybody's role. You know, who's running AED, who's running O2, who's making sure compressions are constantly happening. It was starting to work great, and this was after I became a firefighter. I was training them in this modular way, and they all loved it. But it was still extremely challenging to get the person out of the water. And really, that's the catalyst. If time is tissue,
right,
the biggest time suck is how do you get them out of the water?
I would liken it to like in RIT. It's better to take the time to package your victim before you attempt to move them.
Yeah.
Right, instead of doing a dirty drag.
Yeah, exactly. And
same
it's gonna, dirty drag is a great way to say that, because once you pull and it didn't work, you're like, oh no, and we're adrenalized, and then you start to pull harder, you start to add more people in it, and then eventually it's we don't have it.
Especially a guy like this.
Yep, that dude's. Yep.
Yeah.
This is a 260-pound guy. Yeah. So I started to conceptualize the Rapid Extrication Board as a tool of, I need something that's easy to teach. I need something that is going to be confined space worthy.
Right.
And how do I do it? So
That's how small it folds up?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it folded up. It's sitting on the rack right now.
Scale.
So there's the rack that you can purchase as well. Or you can, put it in a gunnel hole, you can put it underneath a captain's seat, what have you. This iteration, this is actually called the high angle board.
Okay.
So the orange chest strap is the primary strap.
Okay.
And the way that the strap is anchored into the board, it's configured so that way you don't slip out of it.
Right.
But in training, it's very uncomfortable, especially if your hips come out of the water and you're still vertical.
Sure.
All of your weight is on this strap right here. So I added in the 5-point harness,
right,
but also it's a little meatier right here, so that way you can attach a davit or a lift or a crane, something like that. So if you know that this person is going to be vertical for more than 10 feet,
sure,
it's very similar to that. And then if we're in a training environment, this is going to be way more comfortable for a person portraying a victim to just sit in and then get pulled out of the water. And then the other thing, if they fit inside of this hip strap, then you don't really need to use those straps, even if it's an easy lift. But if these aren't going to make it around, then we know that we want to use the 5-point just because we want to make sure that they're secured onto the board.
Now, similar to I know this has nothing to do with the Kendrick extrication device, KED, but the gist is I see colored straps, and if I was a layperson looking at this, I would say green goes with green, orange to orange.
Yep.
I do see blue to yellow here, though. Do these kind of connect together?
Yeah, so once we know that this is connected, again, we're going over the body and we're going to make this hip connection. Okay. It's really when we can't see what strap that we're grabbing,
right,
which is why, if I pulled up this yellow strap to go into here, I'm well, that's not going to work.
Okay.
We want to make sure that we have the connection, the correct connection, because we're trying to avoid doing damage to the body as best as we can.
Okay.
But if you look at this one, this is more of the standard board. So this is blue to blue, and then orange to orange, and then the black strap, actually if you watch this video right here, this is for transporting the person once we've got them onto the boat and we got to get them off of the boat.
Understood. Cool, man. Yeah, I think this is pretty interesting for packaging people and getting them out of the water.
Yep.
Normally what we'll do on a dive call is we'll drop a ladder, if it's off a dock or something like that, but I think this is pretty neat to get somebody onto a vessel Very cool. What else you got, my man?
That's it.
Pretty much it?
Yeah, I mean, I could sit here and talk for hours about the CPR training program if you want me to.
I beg it. Just wanted, it's very interested in the product.
Awesome.
Anyway, thank you, brother. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Right on, bud. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, buddy.